Two makeup artists can use the same exact products and still charge completely different prices. So what really separates a small artist from a high-end luxury artist? I've been a makeup artist for the past 9 years and I've seen this difference up close. Luxury is not just about being expensive, but it's also about operating differently. If you're a makeup artist that wants to upscale their business and reposition themselves as a luxury makeup artist, then this video is for you because I will be showing you all the 9 ways that you can do so. Number 1, presentation. Luxury starts way before you touch your client's face. A high-end artist will pay attention to how their kit looks, how the sanitization is done, how the environment is feeling. Small artists, they will only focus on merely their makeup and maybe getting good shots, and then they would probably not give all of the rest of the stuff much attention, which is very much needed because a luxury artist always focuses on the experience as a whole and not just the value of the work. Even if you have amazing work, when you start to take care of all these external factors that the client will experience, because when a client walks in, they don't want to be just done with makeup and leave, that they will just see you as another makeup artist. But when you have a kit that screams years of passion and dedicated work, when you sanitize in front of them, when they see that you're trustworthy, all these small things really count, and I feel like it really adds up to the experience for the client, and they will just see you as a more put together, and suddenly you're a luxury artist in their eyes. It doesn't always have to be about money, bling, bling, but more about how you're positioning yourself and how you're welcoming the client, how you're making them sit on your chair, how you're talking to them, how you're touching their face. All these small things add up to the experience, which I think is really important. Number 2 is experience over service. Like I said before, presentation is how you present yourself, and experience is what the client takes away from you. So a luxury artist will always focus on the experience with the client and how everything goes together. How you do the skin consultation, the skin analysis, like the presence, how your energy is in the room, how controlled the environment is, and like just time management and stuff like that is really gonna put you on a pedestal and give a very good feedback from the client. And that's what they look for. Luxury clients are always looking for how you make them feel, and that goes a long way. Number 3 would be attention to details. So a luxury client is someone who already is willing to pay for the work they get, and I feel like when you're paying a certain amount, you are very particular with what you like and what you don't like, as they should be. And being a service provider, you need to make sure that when you are willing to charge a certain amount, your attention to detail and the quality of your work needs to also upgrade in that level. How you blend the edges of your eyeshadow, how the skin texture looks after your makeup, how the lip line is done. You need to be able to match the undertones perfectly. You need to check the makeup in different lightings, how it looks in natural light, how it looks in artificial light. All of these things are something that a luxury makeup artist will also keep in mind. A luxury client who's gonna sit in that chair would want to be taken care of in all ways and any way. You cannot be having a luxury client who's paying that amount of money and then just have their lashes pluck off midday, after your application. Your words need to match up with your action in order to maintain the clientele and to keep having them come back. Number 4 would be consistency. A small artist are normally inconsistent. They're not going to be very up to date. Things about them, their style is just going to be very all over the place. A luxury artist usually has a specific style they focus on, and they're very predictable with their work. They will have the same level of finishing. They will have the same level of a signature look. You may say they will basically be up there with the predictability level. You will know that this is how they reach out to each and every client. It's not client to client changing. Even though everyone is different, every inquiry comes off different, the experience that you give off as an artist needs to be the same level for each and every one. It needs to be the same level of personalized, the same level of detail to attention, detail to communication, the same level of hygiene, for example. So luxury is really predictable, and it just means reliability. Number 5 would be business structure. If you want to establish yourself as a luxury artist in the industry, you will need to make sure that you operate this business as a business and not a hobby. You cannot be very laid back with this profession. You cannot be just going with the flow and just working when it happens, and it's not gonna give you long-term results, and after a point you will crash out if you're not maintaining that level of consistency in your work. Being a luxury artist, you need to have everything together. You need to treat this like a proper business. So contracts, deposits, terms and conditions, clear pricing, policies, punctuality, all the set guidelines for your business need to be followed from scratch, to the point, to the T, every single day. This is an industry that is really freelance, so you're your own boss. You cannot basically be laid back and let go. You have to keep showing up for yourself each and every day and put in your best work. No matter how tired you are, no matter how sad you are, you need to be putting yourself out there. You need to be doing your best, and then you will just see the results flow in like crazy. Number 6 would be confidence and positioning. A luxury artist will never chase clients. There is something about this industry that makes you want to always adjust to what the client needs, which I understand. If you're someone who is new in the market, who is just starting out, that is something you should do, and I will never say that you don't do that. You have to adjust. You have to listen to every booking. You have to basically work as much as you can. But after a point, when you are confident in your work, confident in your talent, in your art, in your skill, and you know that you have the experience to upscale and then now just rebrand yourself and reposition yourself up there, it's time for you to basically look at it as a business and then have some sort of value in your business. You cannot be giving discounts to every other client in order to basically hold the booking in. You need to have strict rules about your booking policies. You need to have clear boundaries and professional level of communication. You should know that they are a client at the end of the day and not your friend. So how you communicate with them, it should be a level of boundary. I will not say that you be very stiff, just do your makeup and leave, because that is just not fun, and you need to enjoy your work at the same time. You need to be able to basically have a laugh with them, drink with them if you do, so if that's your thing. But at the same time, know your boundaries. Don't get drunk, but you can also cheers on their good day. You know what I mean? No desperate pricing. You do not want to drop your pricing down for just the mere value of booking up. A small discount code here and there is okay, but not too much of a heavy discount where you lose the value in your work. This is something that I've come to notice. The more discount you give, the more likely you are to be misused during that booking. This is just something that I've noticed from pure experience. I'm not sure if you guys will relate to this, but the more you are strict and more you are abiding by your own terms and conditions, the more respect you get from the client, the more value they give you. But the second you start repositioning yourself below and you start listening to everything they want you to do, and even if it means degrading your value and just just doing it for the sake of it at this point, you will notice those are the clients that will usually create the most trouble for you and just be very unpleasant to work with. Confidence changes perspective, and that is really important in this industry. Number 7 would be the pricing strategy. Now this is somewhere a lot of people get really confused and they don't really know how to begin and what to do and how to price themselves in the market and fit in and not overcharge or undercharge. So if you're someone who is in that dilemma, I will tell you exactly what all factors you need to keep in mind in order to be able to charge your value. So luxury pricing is not about being expensive for no reason. You need to keep in consideration a bunch of things. Number 1, your experience. How many years of experience do you bring to the table? The level of quality in your work. What sort of products do you use? Are you using high-end products? Are you using average drugstore product? Another thing to keep in mind, just because you are a luxury makeup artist does not mean you need to use all luxury products. There are a lot of brands, a lot of drugstore brands that create and give you amazing finish and amazing quality of work without breaking the bank. It's always about how you are doing it and how you're presenting yourself. You can use a Maybelline blush, but at the same time, you should also have luxury products in your kit, because that is what the client sees and that is what adds value to your kit, because at the end of the day, we are all humans and the price tag makes a big difference. Number 8 would be the mindset shift. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is something I really believe and really stand by. What you think, you become. Everything that's in here shapes your reality, and it's the biggest difference you can do in your life by changing this. The second you start believing in yourself, the second you stop questioning yourself, is when you will see actual results flow in. A small artist will normally think like, am I good enough? Should I lower my rates? Am I not getting enough bookings because I'm like too expensive? Things like this always hold you down, and they will not let you reach your full potential to a level. As a luxury artist, you should think beyond that. Like, they will always think about, how can I make this experience better? What can I do to make my clients feel more comfortable in my chair? And it just focuses more on how they can expand their growth and outreach and go above the box, go beyond the line. Because with inflation happening very severely, the prices are going up in every industry. So it is in makeup. It's a very humane thing to wanna make sense of your pricing. So if you're unable to do so, always try to add more value in it. Maybe give a better touch-up kit, provide more things in that. Maybe give them a teleconsultation prior to the booking, something that feels more like they're paying for the price and it's worth it. Number 9, how to transition from a small artist to a luxury makeup artist. So I want you to make these points actionable, which I'm going to tell you now, to have the smoothest transition ever for your career. Number 1 would be to upgrade your hygiene. Make sure you sanitize after each and every booking, after each and every client, if possible. If you have the time and everything, you need to know what system fits you. Some of my industry friends like to carry a different set of brushes for each client. Some of them like to sanitize their brush kit in between clients and then start the next one. So just about how you do it. Then the second would be to improve your lighting. There's a bunch of lighting in the market. You can get so much value for the money, and there's just a lot to experiment with. You have the stick lights, you have the panel lights, you have ring lights, you have LED, beauty lights. So there are a lot of lights in the market. So just make sure you're upgrading into that, because the light is what will reflect your makeup, and the better the light, the better your makeup looks. All goes hand in hand with each other. Number 3 would be to refine your social media. It is an annoying thing, but it is a part of the job, and a very big part of the job. I feel like even if you are bad at the communication, even if you're just you're not confident with your skills, you're not confident with how you speak to someone, you're shy, you don't know how to be out there. I know a lot of people, a lot of cases where the makeup is not that great and they're very new beginners, but they know how to position themselves on social media, and they will post in a way that attracts a sort of clientele that resonates with them and their work. So they will still be fully booked. So at the end of the day, social media is everything. The way you position yourself, what you show out there, what you basically, how the world sees you, is what's going to get you the most bookings. So just make sure you define your social media. It speaks for your work. It shows exactly the sort of skill you bring to the table. It should be something that, if someone goes to your social media, they will know exactly why they need to book you and what they need to book you for. And I would want you to invest in training. You never really stop learning. Some people really think that, they're the best, there's nothing more to learn. And I feel like that is a really wrong mindset to have. You should always be willing to learn. You should always be willing to just adapt to different trends, because makeup changes with trends. Every year you will see a new makeup trend, a new sort of client requests. So you need to make sure that you're adapting yourself, as you go. Take those classes, take those sessions. They really do add on. I feel like you learn something new with every artist along the way, because they all teach you something that they learned through years of experience in their industry. There are a bunch good ones. Whatever you like, whoever you like, go take the training from them. Believe me or not, it's going to be the best sort of investment you can do in your career, because you will know how other artists work. You will hear from them. You will see their work in person, and you will know where you can upgrade it, where you can take help from it, and it just helps you overall. So I would definitely recommend you invest in good training. Then you should always raise your prices gradually. Do not just have a big jump in the pricing, because that's going to give a shock in your clientele. You will end up losing a bunch of clients. Unless you're okay with that and you want to start completely fresh, I would still recommend you gradually increase your prices, maybe every year or every 6 months. But if it's a 6 months duration, then it should be very, very minimum. And if it's a 1 year, then you can have a little nice shift, in your pricing. Can be a good increase. But yeah, just make sure it's gradually done and you're announcing it to your clientele on your social media before you're doing that. Just so if someone wants to book in with your older prices, they can go ahead and do that before you raise them, because this really helps you get a lot of bookings of people who were thinking of booking you, but then they just needed the right moment to type it. So that will really help. The next point I would say is you need to work on your communication tone. Client reaches out to you, the way you respond to them, the questions you ask them, you know, how they feel when they're talking to you, because at the end of the day, you guys are strangers to each other, so they need to be comfortable enough in order to ask you questions. You need to open up the platform for them to be themselves, reach out to you, feel super confident in like how you're talking to them and everything, and just be a very positive communication. Yeah, so luxury is always built in layers. It's not something that you just do like that. And I really hope you guys are taking away something really informative and helpful from this video, because that is my whole point here. You don't need to pretend that you're luxury. You need to start operating like you're luxury, and it all begins with how seriously you take yourself and your business. So I hope this video was of some help to you guys. If there's anything I can help you with, please leave all your questions down below in the comment section, and I will be more than happy, you know, answer your questions, your doubts, and help you along the way. And if you're an aspiring luxury makeup artist, then comment down luxury and I will know exactly who you are, and we can help support each other better it that way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.